So the Galaxy Watch Active 2 is currently selling for about pretty much half the price, but at the same time Samsung is moving towards the Wear OS with the latest Galaxy Watch 4. So is it really worth buying it? Let's find it out. I'll talk about both the pros and cons, looking at the current situation. So if you're new to the channel, subscribe, also like this video guys. Let's begin. So let's start with some of the cons first. First one being the lack of NFC payment support. Owning a Samsung phone, I was really expecting this feature, but currently this is not available in India. Technically, you can flash some custom firmware and get these features, but I don't really recommend it. So definitely this is a bummer in my opinion. Another weird thing is there is no back gesture. You really have to press the hardware buttons to go back. Now the buttons feel good, they're not bad, but they don't feel as rock solid as, let's say, my Fossil watch. The buttons on the Fossil watch feel rock solid, but the Galaxy Watch Active 2 doesn't really inspire that kind of confidence. So there is a chance of wearing down the buttons eventually. Another important feature that this is lacking is the SpO2 or the blood oxygen level measurement. This thing is currently available in most of the budget watches as well, but personally I don't mind it. I would prefer relying on an oximeter for this purpose. The performance on the Active 2 is good, but don't expect it to be butter smooth. I mean, I did notice some occasional stutter in the animations. Also, if you try and open some settings, like let's say if I open the brightness controls, it does take a bit of a time. And if you go into the menus or sub menus, you will notice that it is not very super responsive. Invoking Bixby, as you can see, takes a bit of its own sweet time. Also, if you are, let's say, going to enable the Bluetooth in the menus, you will find that, as you can see, it does take its own sweet time. So it's not really slow, but at the same time it's not super responsive. I hope you get the idea. Alright, now let's talk about the good stuff. The first one has to be the display. It looks sharp, it looks really good. No issues, even outdoors it automatically activates the outdoor mode and it gets really bright. So in this instance I was walking into the harsh sunny light. This was definitely harsh, I would say, and you can see the display looks clearly visible. No issues here. Just ignore the linings, it is the recording issue, but it looks pretty good. I tried calling on this one, and for a smartwatch I find this pretty decent. For those quick 2-minute calls, it does the job. Here's a quick sample of the speaker.
Welcome to Airtel. We are pleased to introduce Airtel Black. One plan for all your plans. To know more, visit.
So at the maximum volume it does break, so if you reduce it, it is still audible and it sounds better.
Paid services, press 2 for extreme fiber and...
Also, here is a quick sample of the mic as well. Hey guys, now I'm recording using the Galaxy Watch in a room where it is kind of echoey, so let's see how this picks up the voice and let's see how this sounds. Another cool feature that works across Samsung devices is this particular feature, using which it does push out all the notifications or calls even when it is not connected via Bluetooth. So indoors I don't really use Bluetooth, so I still get these notifications like OTPs when I'm working on my laptop, so that's really helpful. Now I'm not a fitness freak, I usually either do walking or jogging, but I kind of like the health tracking on the Galaxy Watch 2 for a few reasons. It does more than just recording the technical data like heart rate and stuff. It kind of guides you and gives you feedback about what's happening in the workout, how many reps you have done, stuff like that. So it is useful, but it also has something called auto workout detection, but it's not perfect. I mean, I did go on a bike ride for about 3-4 kilometers and it detected this as cycling, which is a false positive. I find the sleep tracking to be fairly accurate as well, but if you look at the awake times, I feel this is a little more sensitive to the movements when you are sleeping, so awake times are probably a little too aggressive in terms of the reports, but apart from this, pretty much fairly accurate in other areas. But in terms of daytime sleep tracking, the naps, it's a hit or a miss. I mean, on a particular day it did show the record, on some other days it did not record them at all, so maybe this could be improved. It also has the continuous heart rate monitoring, and I find this to be pretty much on par with other fitness watches, even in the budget range. The app experience is also pretty good. You have all the controls on the app, or you can also do that on the watch. Most of the stuff, there's a good level of customization and you have a lot of watch faces, so no issues. But if you want to check out the health tracking, then you need to install the Samsung Health app. That's a different app again. You'll find all the detailed reports here, but I didn't find the option to share the health data to other services, which is kind of a downside. Also, it is very lightweight, so it feels comfortable on the hand. But one thing that I have mixed feelings about is the Bixby. Call Siri. It cannot detect some contact names,
That contact doesn't exist. Please check and try again.
but it helps making calls or sending messages. Send a message to my.
What's your message for mine?
Hi, I'm just trying to dictate using the Bixby assistant, and let's see how the accuracy is and how this thing works. That's it.
Want to send this message?
Yes. So the dictation is fairly alright, but again, not 100% accurate. Also, the battery life is pretty decent. I get about 1.5 days worth of battery life with moderate usage. Here I'll list all the settings that I generally use. Now this I would say is acceptable considering it is a smartwatch. So 1.5 days of battery life is what you generally get on most of the smartwatches. So what about the future updates? Samsung officially confirmed that they are going to support these for about 3 years since the launch. So considering the launch date of the Galaxy Watch Active 2, it should still get about 16 months of software updates roughly, which is not too bad considering that it is not a smartphone. So I would say it is acceptable, and I would really not mind buying this watch right now. But if you want to know in detail about the Tizen OS and how it compares to the Wear OS, you can check out my other video. I'll drop a link here or the cards. So that's been it, guys. Please like this video, also subscribe to the channel. That's been it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.